The word explode has not always meant what it does today. In fact, the way the word's meaning has changed over time makes for an interesting story, and you'll be surprised to learn about some other English words that are related to it in this video. Let's go over the meaning of the word explode today. Firstly, explode can mean to destroy something in an explosion. As an example, you might say, he exploded the grenade. Secondly, it can mean to be destroyed in an explosion. So you could say, the grenade exploded. These are the most familiar meanings of the word. Explode also has some other meanings. These include to disprove, to have an emotional outburst, and to increase suddenly. But none of these are original meanings of the word. Going back to the two simple meanings of explode, these meanings developed in the late 19th century. Before that, explode meant to go off with a loud noise. There wasn't the same sense of destroy contained within the word's meaning, and it was the noise, rather than being burst or blowing up, that made something an explosion. You can easily see how a word which meant go off with a loud noise would change into the newer meaning to do with destruction by explosion, especially when considering other factors at the same time. Air-dropped bombs were first used in the mid-19th century, and the start of the 20th century saw an increased use in explosive weaponry. The word explode evolved from meaning go off with a loud noise to describe these explosions. But this older meaning, simply to go off with a loud noise, is only found from the late 18th century. The earlier meaning of the word explode was to drive out with violence and noise. Thinking about how a word might change in meaning from drive out with violence and noise to go off with a loud noise is again quite simple. If you're driving someone or something out with violence and noise, you are going off with a loud noise. And so it's just a basic extension of meaning. First, explode means to drive out with violence and noise, then it means to go off with a loud noise. But we can go even further back than this meaning, which only started to appear in the mid-17th century. Before that, the word explode had a more specific meaning, drive out by clapping. This sounds like quite a strange concept, but think about it for a moment in the context of a performance, say at a theatre or a comedy club. If an audience isn't really enjoying themselves, they might try something like slow clapping or booing to drive the performers off stage. And that's the sort of strategy we're talking about here. It turns out that the oldest meaning of the word explode in English is to drive out by clapping in the context of a theatre. If we race even further back in time, we can see how we got the word explode in the first place. The Latin word explodere meant to drive an actor off stage by making noise, whether that's clapping or hissing or booing. The Roman philosopher and orator Cicero uses the word in one of his books on philosophy, when he talks about admitting our own errors. If an actor moves a little out of time, or if his line is pronounced with one syllable too short or too long, he is hissed and booed off stage. Will you, in your life, which should be more controlled than any gesture, more proper than any line, claim that you made a mistake in only one syllable? That Latin word explodere comes from the prefix ex added to the verb plaudere. Plaudere just means to clap, whilst ex gives explodere the meaning to clap off someone. Plaudere gives us English words you might never have thought are related to the word explode. Add a different prefix to plowed array, and you get the Latin word which gives us applaud, which means to clap in support of someone. So applaud was originally something of an opposite to explode. We also get the English word plausible from plowed array, because plausible originally meant praiseworthy, worthy of being applauded. So you've learnt the original meaning of the word explode, and seen step by step how its meaning changed over time. Did anything in this video surprise you? Leave a comment. I've done lots of other videos about how words change over time, and you can watch them here. Thank you for watching this video from Philologism. While you're here, like, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you'll get another video from Philologism every week.